thought we would be answering Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thought we'd be answering your questions about travel to Italy in 2026. I know that there's a lot of confusion about the new rules for the the biometric face recognition and all this stuff. And then there's the other issue, which is the sort of like the ESTA visa that they're going to be requiring from non-Europeans towards the end of 2026. So we're here to answer those questions. We didn't take questions in advance of this video so that we could answer your questions live. So please ask questions in the chat and we'll answer them as best we can. After the chat has ended, if we did not get to your question, please leave the question in the comments and we will answer you in the comments, not the chat. Also, if you are watching this video on a replay, please note we have had some technical difficulties with getting this live going, and so it's not a perfect screen. But thank you for your patience. And I'm trying to get back into view here. Sorry, is it working? Okay, trying to get back into view. Anyway, if you're watching this on the replay and you have questions, please drop them in the comments and we will answer you there as well. So hello to you coming from Iowa, California. Hi again, Ralph. Kevin, I see you just got tickets to Rome for June 2026. That's great. And William, you're planning to come to Rome and finding our channel helpful. Thank you. So if you guys have questions, please go ahead and ask them now. If you don't have questions, we will just start giving you some tips for planning your 2026 travel. Liberty, so supermarkets have some very good mid-tier wines. Yeah, that's true. You can get pretty decent wines at the supermarket.
Actually, yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and actually most trattorias offer house wines for a very reasonable price, and they tend to be pretty good, actually. So unless you are a real wine connoisseur and you want some some other options, then you want to go to a wine bar, but supermarkets are great for wine. Basic trattorias have good house wine. So yeah. Any questions, anyone? Thank you, Mary Lou. I realize we have fewer of you online because we had some glitches that we are still experiencing a little bit of, but yeah, please feel free to ask questions if you have them. Now, if you're coming to Rome in 2026, one thing that I want to say about that, so I know that many people have been, yes, Sicilian wines offer great value. Sicilian wines are excellent. That's a broad statement. Obviously, there are many kinds of Sicilian wines. People coming to Rome in 2026, I want to clear something up. I think that there is something of an idea that, the Jubilee was going to cause Rome to be absolutely crazy this year, which it kind of did. And I know that many people have mentioned that they want to travel to Rome in 2026, thinking that things will have calmed down a little bit. But I'm here to say that I do not believe that it's going to be quieter in Rome or in Italy in 2026, Jubilee or no Jubilee. The Jubilee brought thousands, if not millions, of pilgrims to Rome,
daily.
And it has been a success. It's been mostly busiest at the Vatican, but there have been crowds around Rome everywhere. But this has really been going on since even pre-COVID. When Alessandro and I had our bed and breakfast, and we closed it in 2017, we were already seeing the crowds slowly going up and up each year. And it's just, people have more resources to travel. People want to travel. The internet has helped bring the world closer. You can see places you want to go. And I think travel is just increasing around the world. But as we try to share on this channel and in our newsletters and on social media, there are so many places to visit in Italy and in Rome that are not crowded. So if you're going to the Vatican and the Colosseum, yep, it's going to be crowded. But we've shared some videos about some of the best museums in Rome that are not crowded. Palazzo Barberini, Galleria Doria Pamphili. And these museums have world-class art. They're not, little dinky museums. I mean, they're pretty amazing. So you can visit Rome in 2026 and still experience Rome in an uncrowded way if you plan for it. So now I see we have some questions, so we can start taking them. So go ahead, honey.
Okay, so I have Alyssa Kirchkovic. Forgive me for my pronunciation. Anyway, checking in from Canada. Hi. We have 4 nights in Rome, pre-cruises at the end of April into beginning of May 2026, and with 2 young kids, 7 and 3. Tours are booked. Vatican City, Colosseum Underground, and Catacombs. Excellent.
You're in good shape. Well,
absolutely.
Mary Boo, I think, is asking about the weather in May.
Yeah.
And which is best area to book a room, Monte or Esquilino. So May is an absolutely beautiful time to visit Rome.
It's also high season.
Yeah. It's peak season.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it's peak season is because the weather is so beautiful. It's not too hot. It's actually not as hot as most people think. So you're going to want to have like a cardigan, probably a light rain jacket, maybe a denim jacket, some long sleeve shirts. I wouldn't plan to come to Rome in May with shorts and sort of summer clothing just yet.
Right. As for the areas that you mentioned, Monte and Esquilino. So actually, Monte and Esquilino are 2 areas, or neighborhood, I should say, really close to each other. And it's very difficult to define the borders of them. I would say if you stay in the area of Esquilino, so-called, try to stay maybe nearby the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore. Monte is very cute and it's well known, and it could be more expensive, definitely, compared to Esquilino. Another alternative for you to consider is the 3rd area close by, which is over the other side of the station, which is called Castro Pretorio. And so offering, now it's been already maybe 50 years, offering excellent accommodation, nice, location, close to the station as well. Again, so depending on your budget, Monte is the most expensive, and then Esquilino and Castro Pretorio being close to each other, the main hub of both the 2 lines, A and B metro lines, you can find excellent deals over there.
Yeah. Let's see. So
Jeff.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Anything else you suggest for those ages?
It's Alyssa. Yeah.
What are you asking for for your kids, for traveling to Rome with kids? Well, I think in general, we do have a page on the Romewise website about traveling to Rome with kids, so you can check that out. There are some things in Rome that are kid specific. I would say a couple of things you want to consider are going to be the zoo.
Yeah.
Also the Villa Borghese Park, but also the Gianicolo. So Alessandro wrote a beautiful article about when he was a kid going up. You tell them, honey.
Yeah, sure. It's the Gianicolo. It's one of the hills of Rome, and beside the
not one of the original seven hills.
It's one of the hills.
Yeah.
It's one of the not of the 7 original hills, but it's one of the hills, as well as the Pincio nearby the Borghese Park. Well, depends again. So where you are going to book and what you do in a short amount of time. I would say the zoo. It's interesting. The Gianicolo Hill, because of history and because of the kids' entertainment, and also could be Villa Borghese, the park of Villa Borghese, with a theater where you can bring your kids and have a good time over there. I'm sure. Yeah,
there's puppet shows both in the Villa Borghese. There's an old-fashioned puppet show, and on the Gianicolo,
right,
on the weekend. It's only on the weekends, right?
Only weekends.
There's a live free puppet show. Also, at noon every single day in Rome, they shoot a cannon. And actually, for those of you who are visiting Rome, anytime at noon, you're going to hear that boom. You're going to hear this sound. And those of us, living in Rome, we walk around, you hear that 12 o'clock cannon. You're like, oh, it's noon. They shoot a cannon off every day, and it's something fun to see and do, especially with kids. But it is really loud. So if your kids are small and easily sort of scared from loud noises, you might want to watch it from above and not go down below where the cannon is shot. It's not dangerous. It's something they do. It's a tradition that we have here to mark the noon time.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's
Okay, so Darren, you said you didn't notice any difference between this year and last year in the crowds. I would say that it's just been crowded in Rome. It's just been getting more and more crowded in Rome, period. We did have a surge in tourism, obviously post-COVID, but the Jubilee has brought an increase in tourism, but in particular to the Vatican, definitely to the Vatican. So I would say you may not have noticed it in other parts of the city. And let's see, Jeff, you're asking, you're going to Rome and Venice next September. Beautiful time of year to visit. How many days do you recommend in each location?
Well, if you can, it's going to be 3 nights and 3 nights, if you can. That's really the minimum I can suggest. There is a lot ground to cover. Both cities, both are walkable. Rome is the largest, and Venice is absolutely particular. Venice, it's not that to take that granted. It offers a lot of opportunities, especially for first timers. Besides the Piazza San Marco and the museums linked to it, this beautiful area. Churches in Italy as well as in Venice, but overall, all over the country are like museums. So there are at least 7, 10 churches in Venice that you may just discover for the first time, and yet your interest there will be covered at 360 degrees: art, architecture, and history. I would say 3 nights and 3 nights. That would be the best.
The Commodus Passage. So Alessandro and I are going on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah. 2 days
Very
from
excited to see this. For those of you who are not familiar with this question, they are opening a brand new thing to see inside of the Colosseum. And obviously, I will be making a video about it. I've already got the script written, and we just have to go to the Colosseum and actually see it for ourselves. If any of you have seen the movie Gladiator, then you know who Commodus was. He was a real Roman emperor. He was actually one of the nastiest. He was really bloodthirsty. And they made this passageway for him. So this was long after the Colosseum was actually built. And they actually had to dig through the masonry to make this passageway for him. And they are linking it to him because there was a documented assassination attempt on him, and so they know that this passageway was built for him so that he could avoid being around all of the the plebes, the riffraff. Anyway, we are going to see it on Tuesday, and I'm very excited about this. So stay tuned for our video about this on this channel. We'll keep you posted. Okay, so you were in Rome end of February, and yes, you had great weather. February is a great time of year to come. I absolutely agree.
Sharon?
6-day trip to Rome.
Right. Yeah.
Thinking of a day trip to Naples or Florence. Is that worth it? Or is there plenty to do in Rome? If you were coming to Rome for 2 weeks, I would say you don't have enough time here. But on a 6-day trip to Rome, you could easily spend all of your days here. I have a page on the Romewise website, 7 days in Rome, and you can see what you can do there. But one of the days, I suggest taking a day trip just for a change of scenery. So
yeah, that's right. It's doable because you going north, it's 1 hour and 20 minutes by train. You're going south to Naples, it's 1 hour and 10 minutes by train. So if you want to extend just both cities, it's doable. And my suggestion is just consider strictly to stay in both cities, not going over, if you decide to go to south, not over the Amalfi Coast or other places around. Maybe if you wanted to stretch a little longer, you just consider Naples and Pompeii, and then back to Rome is going to be a full day. And but in Florence, you can enjoy it because 1 hour and 20 minutes train ride off at the main station, which is called Santa Maria Novella. From Santa Maria Novella, if you have tickets already booked either for the Galleria Accademia or the Uffizi Gallery, I think you're gonna make it for 6 hours, 7 hours, and then again 1 full day. Both of the destination are doable from Rome. Rome is an excellent hub to get around, but again, so in 6 days could be audacious, but it's doable.
It's doable. Yeah, and we have videos on this channel about how to take a day trip to Florence and also how to take a day trip to Naples. So you can use those as guides. And like any day trip, you can't see everything, but you can see a lot. So let's see. Stephen Zenos, your third visit next week, visiting friends, currently visiting relatives in Northern Europe. Any traditional Roman cuisine restaurant near Parioli?
Okay, Parioli neighborhood, which is a posh neighborhood of Rome. It's very residential, highly regarded in terms of, architecture. And so actually, I can recommend at least the 3 restaurants of local seafood. If you have like a pen, just take a note. It's Ai Piani, and the other one is Gallura. Both are managed by families coming from Sardinia, believe it or not, and they've been here for 50 years. They brought the tradition of seafood from that coast, that island, and they have a fresh catch at least 3 times a week. Also, they have a good mix in their menu of local plates and local main courses based upon pasta, like the classics, all that. If you're interested to explore pizza options in Parioli, I recommend Fiori di Zucca, which is actually, it's a friend of mine, has this venue over 25 years right now. And that's it, pretty much. Oh, Pariolina, which is another pizzeria. Pariolina and Fiori di Zucca by Pizza, and Roman and seafood restaurant Ai Piani and Gallura.
I would add to that Ercoli, which is a wine bar. So it's great for wine, cheese. I mean, they have one of the best collections of cheeses I've ever seen in my life. So Ercoli, it's definitely an institution in Parioli. You'll find it full of locals.
Ai Piani, Gallura, Ercoli, Fiore di Zucca, Pariolina.
Yeah. Let's see. Question from Wifey. Best places to enjoy aperitivo in Rome. Aperitifs. In Italy, we say aperitivo. And for those of you wondering what is aperitivo, aperitif, it means like drinks and snacks.
Yeah, depends where you're going to stay, because Trastevere is absolutely fantastic. It's very fun neighborhood to have aperitivo. Also can be very, very crowded. Again, so there are different options. Wine bars, I would say, definitely.
Well, I'm kind of the one in the family who goes out more often than Alessandro. Yeah. So True. I very often meet my girlfriends. We go out for aperitivo. So the idea of the aperitivo, it used to be that you would just go out for a little prosecchino, like a little prosecco before dinner, and they would put out some nuts and taralli. Taralli are these like little sort of crackers, the little bread.
Like bagels.
Yeah, tiny little crunchy.
Crunchy.
Anyway, sorry, our cat is, what is she doing? Anyway, that was sort of the typical aperitivo when I first arrived here.
Yeah.
But it has now become a more widespread, the aperitivo, and to the point where Romans are now doing something called the apericena. So cena is dinner. So apericena is like an abundant aperitivo to the point where you just don't have room for dinner anymore. So this would be something like someplace you go for a large buffet. You're not going to find a lot of these anymore. They kind of stopped a lot of the buffets after the pandemic, but some places have it. It's more that a lot of places having aperitivo, they're offering food that's a lot more than what you would normally get with just a glass of wine, sort of like some peanuts. So if you really want an aperitivo before dinner, I suggest sticking to, like I said, peanuts and taralli and olives. But if you really want to kind of have a more abundant aperitivo with some cold cuts and cheeses, some of my favorite places for this include Ercoli that I just mentioned, and they have outposts in Trastevere and Testaccio. They have outposts also in Prati. I think that was the first one.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Spiriti Wine Bar, which is in Piazza di Pietra. That's a piazza just over from the Pantheon, so it's right in the middle of Rome. It's a gorgeous piazza. It's got a lot of ambiance, a lot of vibe, a lot of buzz, and it's a great place to go for an aperitivo. And again, so those sort of cold cuts and snacks and things like that. One of my favorite places is actually really old-fashioned. It's called Achilli al Parlamento. So this is an old-fashioned wine bar. They actually have a sort of stuffy, high-end restaurant on the inside, but in the front, they have tables outside and also inside, just sort of where the wine emporium is. You can get amazing snacks, and the wine selections are superb. To me, one of the best wine bars that's opened in recent years in Rome is Ruvido, which is over here near where we live. It's in San Giovanni area, so Ruvido. But you really kind of can't go wrong. You can even just go to, I recently went with a friend to the new Hotel Minerva, which is super posh. It was expensive, but it was absolutely delightful to have drinks and snacks there. So you kind of can't go wrong if you just pick a place that you want to be, plop yourself down, order a drink, and maybe a few snacks. So yeah. Sorry if that was a little bit too long of an answer. All right, so we're getting lots of questions here. So, okay, apartment you booked is very close to Barberini metro station. We know that area very well.
Yeah. So that's fine. Perfect.
Planning to visit Borghese, great. Okay. With all the world events happening at the moment, is there anything we should be cautious of? No more than usual, to be honest with you. We don't really think about, I don't mean to sound cavalier at all. It's just, yes, there's always a lot going on in the world. But unless your embassy is issuing some sort of advisory, honestly, when you're living someplace, you don't think about these things day to day. So we're aware of what's going on in the world. All over the world, we are very up on the news, and we keep on top of these things. The main thing that's concerning us in this moment are the flight issues in the United States, because we're planning to go back to the States for Thanksgiving, and we're wondering, are we going to be able to get where we're going? Yeah. So that's kind of the main thing that we're worried about right now. But otherwise, if you're thinking of things from a safety or terrorism point of view, we honestly don't think about these things on a regular basis, and we don't hear of any advisories. I get advisories from the American embassy, and I haven't received any. So if your embassy is not sending you any advisories, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But you have to do what's comfortable for you. If you don't feel comfortable traveling, you don't feel it's the right time for you, then of course you should do what is right for you.
Right. There's Liv Maribou. If we take a day trip to Tivoli, is it possible to visit both Villa d'Este and Adrian's villa in the same day, or do you recommend one over the other? Well, it's a tough question. Doing both, I don't think so.
So the answer is yes. It's easy to do both if you take an organized tour, or if you have a car. Yeah. Because doing both with public transportation is a challenge.
Yeah.
So time-wise, you can fit them both in, but doing both of them on your own with public transportation is challenging. You can easily reach Tivoli by train, although it's not easy to get from the train station all the way to Villa d'Este. But then to get from there to Hadrian's Villa, you can do it with public transportation, but it's challenging. You need to give yourself lots of time.
And then depends even when. Like, summertime is something like, but winter, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely doable, and I did a video on this channel where I did it with a tour, and I loved that because I love not having to think about it. So we had a bus go from Rome. It was a full day because we did Hadrian's Villa in the morning, had lunch, and then Villa d'Este in the afternoon, and then came back. So it was really nice. It was July. It was too hot. Don't go in July. Yeah. Okay, so will any churches in Rome have a Christmas choral concert that is free after 10 of December?
Usually what happens, is it Patricia, right? Okay. Usually what happens is that, unless we are talking about the usual suspect, like 3 or 4 churches total, that they normally host Christmas events with concerts, which one of them, it's a Sant'Andrea della Valle. And so we don't know yet until literally the third week of November, and we are going to keep our audience posted on it because we are very interested, and then we promote this kind of events. It's very nice. I've been personally to 2 or 3 of them. I used to make like videos and photos of that, for my own pleasure and passion, because I used to go when I was a kid until my early 20s. Actually, I used to be to belong a choral, like a local choral here with my parish, and I was a bass. Okay, and polyphony. That's what you call, like how you call in English, cappella, right? So all these kind of things, normally they can be released around the third week of November, and possibly again, so maybe even the first week of December. Sant'Andrea della Valle, it's one of the churches that just that could be for sure. We don't know the program yet, again, so there is none, but we'll keep you posted.
Sometimes
for sure.
I think also Sant'Agnese in Agone, which is the church that's in Piazza Navona, they sometimes have concerts around Christmas.
That's right.
We try to keep our, we have various pages on the Romewise website. We have December events, and we also have Christmas events. So, and we have a page all about Rome concerts. So check back there to see if
and
we...
there is another one, which is St. Paul Within the Walls.
but those concerts are not free.
That's correct. It's not free. That's not free. But that's for sure. All right.
Angel, Angel, my wife and I went to Rome for the first time this year. We're planning to go next year. We're in our early mid-70s. How do you tour with minimal walking? Well, Rome is a walking city.
Yeah, well, if you go back and you want to cover as much ground as you can, I highly recommend the golf cart tour or a private driver, or even like organized tours by bus and a mix of private transportation, not for yourself only, but maybe a limited amount of people, groups of like 10 people. You can do it. And it will save a lot of walks, and you go up and off the vehicle. It could be again your own if you want to rent it out. Again, so private drivers or golf cart tours.
Another thing to consider is to make sure that you stay in the historic center. Because this way, if you want to get up in the morning and take a short walk and just go see a piazza or a monument near your hotel, you can go out for a stroll, come back, and have a rest. So sometimes staying in the historic center will cost more depending on the season, but it is a good way to minimize your walking and transportation time. So Kevin, thank you so much for the kind words about the channel. Really appreciate it. And let's see, Annette, as an American, do you need a real ID in addition to your passport? It is my understanding that your passport is a real ID. And frankly, this is only something you need in the United States. You don't need it here in Italy. So you just need your passport to visit Italy. As for the visa for non-Europeans that they're talking about implementing towards the end of 2026, we don't have all the details yet, but it's not going to be implemented before the end of 2026, and we will inform you when there's more about that. So nothing to worry about at the moment. Just bring your passport and any documents that your airline tells you that you need, like if you need a visa, if you're depending on which country you're coming from. But as an American, you just need a passport.
On the related note,
okay, walking around with or without your passport. I did a video about this. This is one of the most popular topics on the Romewise Facebook group. Do you need a passport to walk around Italy and sightsee? And should you walk around with your passport? So the law is clear. Any non-Europeans must have a government-issued ID, and that government-recognized issued ID for non-Europeans is a passport. So technically, you are required to have a passport with you when you're walking around Italy as a non-European. If you're European or if you're part of the EU, you just need your ID card. But the reality is that you're almost never likely to be asked to show your passport. I know somebody's going to come on and say, yes, I was asked to show my passport. It's very unlikely you will be asked to show your passport by police or carabinieri. They could ask you. And the rules say that if you don't have it on you, you could be fined up to 2,000 euros and all these things. I've never heard of anybody being fined. Probably they would say, okay, you need to carry your passport, or you need to bring it to our office, our to the station and show us. Also, if you have some other form of ID or a photocopy, they can look you up, see where you're staying, because wherever you stay has to register you. So it's not legal to not have your passport with you, but if you have a photocopy or another form of ID, they may take this and say, okay for now, but make sure you have it next time. So you have to weigh this with what you're comfortable with. For some people, they are not comfortable walking around Rome with their passport because they worry about being pickpocketed or losing it. In which case you could walk around with some other form of ID and a photocopy of your passport. This is kind of up to you. You have to decide what you're more comfortable with. Not being legal by not carrying your passport, or risking losing your passport or being pickpocketed. As far as monuments, the Vatican, Colosseum, all these sites that require some form of ID to match you with the name on your ticket, none of these require your passport for this. They just need some form of photo ID, and that can be a photocopy or a picture on your phone. So, yeah.
Okay, so we've been in Rome for weeks. Thank you, Chris, for your kindness, and thank you for be our readers. And so do you have any insights, Ralph Casale, do you have any insights into what the weather and crowds will be in Rome before as well as after the Epiphany? Okay, weather. So as far as I can recall, in my life, I'm 61, around the Epiphany, I remember twice with snow, maybe 3 times in my entire life. So it is generally the coldest month. January and February are, 1.5 months, very cold, can be rainy, very rare, snow, we hope, but we're not gonna get any. And so the crowds, it could be crowded. I'm sure that it could be very crowded, especially
After the Epiphany?
No, because of the Jubileum, people just tend to be like that. And then if you're talking the day before or the week or after the Epiphany, it depends. I don't have the calendar right in front of me. I don't know where the January 6th comes and falls on. I don't know. But as far as I can remember, I can tell you that weekend it's usually very, very busy. And after which, unless there is a...
So the Epiphany is on the 6th,
Which
is on the Tuesday. So,
Tuesday,
yeah.
okay. Then the 7th, which is Wednesday, it should be very, very calm. It's not a problem. So, but if you refer to the week after, really after the Epiphany, that's going to be very, very calm. What
Very
the weather,
quiet.
Very
It's
quiet.
It's about the only low season we have left.
Oh yeah,
in Rome.
yeah. That's that window right there. So
Let's see, Chris. Oh, you already said thank you. Are the
Yeah.
golf cart tours still running?
yes, they are. We know that in Florence they stopped for a period of time. In Rome, they definitely are running. There is not a problem with that. So if you plan something to do, just book in advance. That's my highly concern. Highest concern. Just book in advance.
Yeah, golf carts are a great way to see Rome, cover a lot of ground, and we recommend them. Everybody seems to love them. You can book semi-private golf cart tours, so it means you're with other people.
Yeah, it's good.
Or private.
Very interesting question, though. Ed Alonso asking if arriving in December 26th this year, would you recommend going on a day trip on New Year's Day? So believe it or not, Ed, I do have visitors coming the same period of yours, and then they are going to have a day trip. But I booked a day trip for them 2 months in advance because it's really the rates are going to be very high because there are less tour guides and companies doing this on a New Year's Day, and unless you're going with some group, check the availability right now because I know it's going to be very, very difficult to find someone still available for that day. I think it's already late, but if you decide to go, book now. Just as soon as you can.
But if you're going on your own and you're not looking for a tour and you just want to do something, sure, it's a nice day to take a day trip. Just remember that on New Year's Day, a lot of things, major sites are not open. So, for example, the Colosseum is not open. The Uffizi.
State museums are. State museums are, but private collection are closed, so they're not open. So, yeah.
Yeah. Visited Rome this past February and already ready to return. Romewise was the source of truth for planning. Wow, what a nice thing to say. You're visiting Turin. That's fantastic. And Genoa, Pisa, and Florence. Have a wonderful time. We love Turin. We need to go back and make some more videos.
Oh, yeah.
We have a couple on this channel, but they're older, so yeah. Let's see. What is the best for transport? Oh, I see, Ronnie. Okay, then to Rome. What's the best transportation for this itinerary? Turin, Genoa, Pisa, Florence, train. Unless you want to drive. I mean,
No.
I would say train.
No,
Italy
train.
is, all these cities are well connected by train. I don't suggest driving in any of these big cities. Driving and parking is a hassle. A lot of the cities have these restrictions on when you can drive in the center. So train is absolutely the best. I would recommend that.
Yeah, train.
For sure.
All the way. Yeah.
Let's see. Apericena. Do restaurants offer traditional Italian Christmas food during the festive season?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what a typical Italian Christmas food is during the holiday season? I think Alessandro is the best to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Families here, and the tradition, the origin of our cuisine, it's really simple. Both the 24th and the 31st, it's seafood oriented. Both of the dinners, not talking about lunch here on the 24th and both on the 31st are not a big deal. We're talking about dinner, 24th December, 31st December, seafood oriented. It's like really an assault to like the seafood, reservation for anything, shellfish and langoustine and calamari and anything just related to the seafood. It just, we have to reserve like at least a month in advance. You have to know your vendors. You have to have a place to go and all that. So for the reservation for the 24th, it's a little bit easier to get in restaurants. For the 31st the night, again, book in advance. That's the key. Depending where you want to go, depends which experience you want to have. Traditionally, all the way, it's not a problem. Then it depends if you want to just raise the bar, meaning that you want to go a little bit more fancy and then very research cuisine, and then you want to just try 1-star Michelin, 2 stars Michelin, and so forth. I mean, fancy doesn't mean necessarily only money. It means literally another experience. But generally speaking, they all try to be conservative. Innovation in cuisine, it's nice all the way around, all the year around. But the 24th and the 31st, all of them, restaurateur, they tend to be traditional. Yeah.
So Ed Alonso, in fact, is asking where we recommend for New Year's Eve dinner in the Prati area.
Tough questions, Ed, because we do have a lot of restaurants. It could be Flavio, ve l'avevo detto. It could be
but you should
Zanzara.
notice that not a lot of restaurants have a different menu for New Year's Eve, not their a la carte menu. So you're going to find like a prefix.
Now, but again, so we're going to just send maybe a list of restaurants open on 31st to get reservation now, because they try to be, again, so there's small facility. They don't have like lots of tables, the good ones I'm talking about. So try to maybe the end of November and try to, get a place, unless we're talking about Michelin starred restaurants.
Well, we do have a page on the Romewise website, where to eat New Year's Eve.
Nearby St. Peter's in Prati.
Yeah. Now there's a restaurant in the Borgo, not Prati, but the Borgo, called Benito Gilberto, which is seafood, which is to die for. But it's very small. If they're open and you can get a reservation, I would recommend them for seafood. Try Ragno d'Oro. This is very, very traditional, very homey, old-fashioned. Also, Il Matriciano, if they're open. It's another traditional old-fashioned. Also, Dal Toscano. Dal Toscano means it's a Tuscan restaurant, but it is super, super old-fashioned traditional restaurant in Rome. A lot of Romans go there. So try these spots for your New Year's in Prati. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for, oops, I'm sorry, we jumped ahead. Just got back from a short Rome trip. My husband. Oh, I'm so glad. That sounds great. Thank you for letting us know. Yes. Oh, Maria Hidalgo. Hello. Sorry that we kept you waiting. I know you're
Hi,
going to be in
Maria.
Rome. They've actually working with Alessandro. So thank you for joining us. Glad you enjoyed the passport answer. Okay, you'll be in Rome for 4 weeks in February, March 2026. During that time, your niece is coming to visit with her mother. Anything you'd recommend for a bright 11-year-old? If she is interested in ancient Rome, then obviously going to visit the Colosseum, of course. You might want to consider tours that are geared towards teenagers. There are actually tour companies that offer tours geared towards families and teenagers. If she is a person who's interested in, learning more about ancient Rome, about history, etc. What else would be good for an 11-year-old?
Well, there is a new show, actually. I know that sounds maybe like not for kids, but it's a very nice show in St. Peter's, the Annie Petrus.
Oh, yes. Oh, so I absolutely love this. I'm doing a new video about this, guys. It's coming soon. I recently went to a brand new visit inside of St. Peter's, which is amazing. It blew me away. It's actually... People don't seem to know about it, but you can book this right on the Vatican website, same place you go to book the Dome Climb or the Basilica audio guide. It's called Petros Eni, which is Greek for, it means Peter was here. And that is the wording that they found on what they believe to be the tomb of St. Peter the Apostle underneath St. Peter's Basilica. And there's been this collaboration between Microsoft and this French video company and the Vatican, and they came up with this incredible 3D presentation that tells the life of St. Peter and the evolution of the construction of, over St. Peter's tomb, and then the original Constantinian Basilica, and then, of course, the current Renaissance era basilica. And this is all done in one of these cupolas that you've never had access to before. So you can book this right on the Vatican website. As I said, I'm going to do a video about it soon, but look it up. It's on St. Peter's Basilica official website. It's called Petros Eni. I highly recommend it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Question, please. Hi, Alyssa. Oh, hi, Peter. It's now more difficult to visit Basilica. Where did I just...
Santa Maria Maggiore.
Yeah, now that the late Holy Father rests there. Honestly, right when he was buried and immediately after, it was Easter and it's been the Jubilee year and Rome has been
Packed.
inundated with pilgrims and groups. So all of my visits to any of the papal basilicas, I've just noticed groups, all these groups, with the hats and the t-shirts and the backpacks and, these huge pilgrimage groups. Now, any time of year we have groups of pilgrims. I mean, any year. It's not just the Jubilee. But in the Jubilee year, of course, it's even more so. So I would say that right after Pope Francis was laid to rest in Santa Maria Maggiore, it was absolutely a madhouse for months. We would drive by because we live near it, and we would drive by it at all hours of the day every day. And
it's 1 o'clock. It's a kilo,
but
a mile.
Here's the thing: like any of these churches, if you show up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you'll have the place to yourself. Also, if you come in low season, the sort of, not the interest is dying down. It's just that there was kind of a mad rush to see his tomb right at the beginning because he was newly buried there. But I think it will always remain an important basilica for people to visit. It has always been one of my favorite churches in Rome ever. Now with Pope Francis there, of course, and with the Jubilee, there's more awareness of it. But I think some of the crowds will die down a little bit. And in lower season, and certainly in early morning and late in the day, you should be fine crowd-wise. So yeah, don't let it put you off. Thanks, Peter. As always, Maria Hidalgo. We live in New Jersey and last traveled to Lourdes in Fatima in 2018. A little nervous to fly again and travel to Italy since COVID. We have been flying back and forth between the United States and Italy since COVID many times. We've traveled around Europe and we are not feeling nervous at all. If you're nervous a little bit about COVID, I recommend, keeping a mask with you if you want to wear a mask if you like. But we are finding that travel has kind of become sort of back to normal, if you will. And
Absolutely.
everybody just, again, like we talked about with perceived, sense of things being unsafe in any way, whatever you're comfortable with is what you should do. But I would say that travel is pretty much back to normal, certainly since the pandemic, and people are traveling normally. And everybody who feels that they want to wear a mask can and should do so on their own. That's a personal preference, obviously. So, okay. Any thoughts on how worthwhile it is to visit the Biblioteca Angelica? Okay, you're talking about these very specific libraries. They're all worthwhile. They're very special.
Yeah, and I think if you're a scholar, then you have a specific interest in one or the other, or all of them actually. I don't know if you saw the websites of each one of them, and they do update the audience, which is again mostly scholars. I barely remember anyone asking for a tour of there, so there is a specific interest. So the Vallichelliana, I think on November 5th, they plan to close the Borromini Hall, which hosted like really literally very rare architectural books from the 1500 all the way to 1800, unification of Italy, 1870. The Angelica, well, yes, it's smaller than the Vallichelliana. Casanatense, frankly, I've never been. I saw from the outside. So in my own experience, again, so they're worthwhile. It could be like just out of curiosity because you want to just pick something very particular you've never been to, or because there is a specific interest in, if you're a scholar or like a teacher or something like that. Yeah, indeed. Check the websites, all of them, for the updates and all that. And then again, that all of them, that 5 minutes, from to the Pantheon. So it's really worthwhile. You can do it like the three of them in one day. Check the closing time.
Yeah, check their hours.
The hours and all that. Yeah. That's right. And depends where you're going, actually. Again, so
somebody just asked, what is the name of the seafood restaurant in the Borgo? So I have a video on this channel that I did about where to eat near the Vatican, and I talked about it in that video, so you can see it there. In that video, I also linked to a Google map that I made of all the restaurants that I recommended. The restaurant in the Borgo that I recommend for seafood is Da Benito e Gilberto. So Benito, Benito, and Gilberto, Gilberto. Gilberto, sorry. Yeah, I should know that.
It's okay. It's okay. Gilbert.
Yes, Gilbert. Okay. Let's see. We requested a visit at the Scavi 6 weeks ago. No answer yet. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
this is frustrating.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
You just have to be patient. Sometimes they answer like
quickly.
In a couple days, and sometimes they don't answer for weeks. So you've just got to be patient. I don't know when, Patricia, you've written a few times on this message, so I don't remember when you're coming. But if you're coming during a really busy time, it may take a while for them to get back to you. If for any reason you don't get the answer you want, you can always go down to the Vatican and ask at the Swiss Guard if there are any cancellations. It may not be likely, but it could happen depending on how many of you there are. That might work for you. So I wish you luck and hope you can get those tickets. Okay, somebody, Jay Kron went to Santa Maria Maggiore last Sunday. Yeah, Sundays, visiting a papal basilica during the Jubilee. And look, November 2nd, one of the busiest days of the year you could visit a church. Okay? So that is the All Souls Day. It's a major holiday here. And visiting a church on a Sunday on November 2nd, it was definitely going to be very busy. Darren, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. You're so kind, and I really appreciate all your support. Thank you. And who else?
Okay.
Maria.
May I interject? Maria Schritter, sorry, again, We're visiting Italy in April, May 2026. So you pick exactly the 3 dates and the month with a pick, the season all the way. So you're going to be in Rome April 21st for 4 nights. Then you leave to get to Sorrento the 25th, and then another week, and then, May 1st in Florence. First of all, I hope that you already booked your accommodations, and for things to do, you don't have any idea what you're gonna do or what you can do, because there is a lot to do. Keep following our channel, keep following our websites, get informed and all that. However, if you want to just go private, just drop an email, alessandro@romewise.com. For the moment, we try to be very conservative on dates. I hope to launch our new segment of business pretty soon. I think we have to postpone until the first week of January, if not the end of January, but it is going to be en route, which covers every single private request. So it's a private concierge service, tailor-made tours, and few of the readers, even those that attended today, few of them are already my clients. So if you want to drop an email, again, alessandro@romewise.com. I will, just to treat this request, I'll give you a complimentary half an hour orientation call if you want. Otherwise, again, so glad to know that you follow our websites and our tips.
Yeah, so April 21st is Rome's birthday. April 25th is Liberation Day in Italy. May 1st is a massive holiday across Europe. So
I see. So you pick like the 3 weeks, possibly.
Yeah, so special
2 weeks.
Special activities in these places. I mean, you're in some of the most beautiful cities, but during a very busy period. It's spring. There are lots of gardens open. There are going to be lots of things going on. For example, in April 21st for Rome's birthday, the Rose Garden opens. There's a parade. April 25th, there are things happening because of Liberation Day. So check our webpage, Romewise for Rome, about... thank you so much, Ed. Very kind of you. Check our webpage, April events in Rome, and you'll see what's happening. We'll be updating it for 2026. We have also a website called Napleswise, and we talk about Sorrento and Campania on that website, so you can check there for events in April in Sorrento. And of course, we have Florencewise, so check there for events in May. For next May, check on our Florencewise site for that. You're coming to Rome over Thanksgiving. That's great. We have a page on the Romewise website where we talk about where you can go to get a traditional American style or Canadian style Thanksgiving meal if you want to. So check that out if you're looking for turkey with all the fixins. We do not give tours. We are not tour guides, but thank you for asking. And recommendations for the best tours. We have tours listed on our website. And if you're looking for private tours, then please write to
Alessandro@romewise.com.
Yeah. Ed, thank you so much for your very kind tip. That's very nice. Yeah. And let's see. Sorry, trying to go through the questions here. We're going to close this out pretty soon. We were a little delayed getting on, so we tried to keep it late, but want to just try to get to as many questions as we can. Moving around Prati with a baby stroller.
Right.
Rome is not an easy city for any wheels. So wheelchairs, baby strollers, we have a lot of sort of broken sidewalks. This being said, Prati is a little bit more baby stroller friendly than other parts of the city, I would say. So I think you should be okay. Just be prepared that the city is not uniformly, baby stroller friendly. Ernesto is so kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Oh, you tried Shasha yesterday. And
Keiko.
That's great.
That's good.
If you're looking for antique housewares, buy them, antique housewares, I would say Porta Portese Market on Sunday, which was today. Mm-hmm. I don't know where to go for antique housewares.
Unless it's antique store. Antique store.
Stores.
Like, Via Giulia.
Via Giulia has antique stores. But housewares is
Well,
tough.
they might have some.
Yeah.
They might have some. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked Shasha Cafe and Kekko.
Okay, cool.
You're arriving in Rome New Year's Day. What should you expect? I hope if you're arriving by plane, I hope you've booked a car to get to your accommodation, because it's going to be tough finding transportation if not. So I hope you've booked something. Many things are closed on the 1st, but some things are open, and we have a page on the Romewise website, what to do on New Year's Day. So check that out for some ideas for what's open and what you can do. The city will be lively and festive. You should definitely go down to Piazza Navona, because that's where the big Christmas market is, and it's going to be in full swing on the 1st. Obviously, churches are open. St. Peter's Basilica is open on New Year's Day, so you can do that. The Vatican museums will be closed, of course. So there are plenty of things to do, but number one thing is, if you're arriving on New Year's Day by plane, book a car to get into Rome, I would suggest.
Right.
Yeah.
So, 2 interesting questions. First one is, traveling by train from Rome to Florence with carry-on luggage, should we book a higher class ticket with an assigned seat, or is economy okay? Wave to the camera. I don't know your name, but thank you for writing this, chat. Anyway, well, it depends. Rome to Florence, I discourage those they want to get on regional trains or intercities. We do have in Italy for a long time, we've been doing the high velocity trains, like speed trains, and I hope you are going to book either with Trenitalia or Italo. They're the 2 major companies. They compete to each other. They have similar rates. They have similar offers and all that. Now, as per the class, the travel class, so it doesn't matter if you start like the economy and you just rise up on business. We like to travel on business whenever possible, even for business trips or pleasure, pure entertainment and all that. Barely we use like an higher class unless we do have a friends or family that we want to book like the entire car for us. And so I would say that on Italo train, the business ticket, it's possibly the best deal. On the same class, which is business on Trenitalia, it's not less interesting, but maybe you want to catch up with the next class, higher up. So check the websites and try to book your seats, even if you have to pay extra, meaning like €2 or €3, and depends, again, where are you going. If you travel more than 3 hours, or you go north and south more than 3 hours, indeed, I like the pre-selection of your seats. It's crucial, because maybe you want to just pick up a seats nearby the toilet, or the store for the luggage, the luggage store. Otherwise, again, so we've been traveling with a lot of luggage many times, and it's very important for you to just have a business class for minimum, okay?
But even with carry-on luggage,
yeah.
I think that it sounds like you're asking if a higher class ticket has an assigned seat, and you might be thinking that an economy ticket doesn't have an assigned seat. Basically, the issue here is whether to take a regional or a fast train. And the bottom line is, take a fast train no matter what. And if you take a fast train, you're going to get an assigned seat. So even in economy class, you're going to get an assigned seat. Yeah, the only time you wouldn't is if you're taking like a regional or intercity train. Take a fast train, and either way, you're going to have an assigned seat, no matter which class you book. So, buonasera a tutti.
Long time viewer, thank you. And we'll be in Rome the first week of February. Is it survivable climate-wise for 2 tropical folks? We plan on buying good coats in Europe. Okay, good idea, smart, for fashion both and utility. And well, as I said before, January and February tend to be the coldest month. barely we saw the snow here. It's an event when it snows, so I don't think you're
Twice
gonna have
since
a,
I moved here in 2001.
and
Twice.
3.5 time since I remember. And again, so I was born and raised here in 61 years, maybe four.
And always February, right?
Well, January and February. That's
Yeah.
it. January, I remember once. You know,
It's cold and it can be like drizzly, but I also have pictures and video of Rome in February on beautiful blue sky days, but cold.
Yeah, it's
chilly.
cold. It's cold, but again, so it's you
Just-
can
just
survive.
bundle. You just
can
bundle.
survive. You
Hats and gloves go a long way.
Okay.
So hats and gloves.
And it's a good
Yeah.
plan to buy like good coats
Yeah.
in Europe, especially in Italy. Good plan.
Any insight what time the holy doors will close on the 28th? So St. Peter's Basilica will close the holy door on January 6th, 2026. The other three basilicas, they are closing the holy doors on the 28th, as far as I understand, because that's what's bookable on the Jubilee website.
Yeah.
They do not list a time for this, so no, I don't know yet. If maybe they will update the Jubilee website about that. So I wish I knew, but I don't know. Sorry, I don't have an answer for you. Guys, we are going to wrap this up. Let's see. We'll just take one more question. I want to remind everyone, first of all, thank those of you who bared with us while we were having technical difficulties and coming back on and being with us, and for spending this hour with us on your Sunday. We really value your time and your loyalty to us and to our channel, and really appreciate you being here. And we want to say that if we didn't get to your question, we're going to take one more, but if we didn't get to your question, please drop your question into the comments below and we will answer you later. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, drop your question into the comments and we will answer you. So with that, we'll take one more question, and thanking everybody again for joining, and thanking those of you who have generously donated some tips to us. We really appreciate it. So go ahead, honey.
So there you go. Thank you for both of them. We rent a car for 2 days. 1 day to visit Napoli, Pompeii, etc. Okay. The second to go to Cinecittà World for a few hours. That's great. Which city can be visited after Cinecittà on the same day and then return to Rome? Okay. The fact that you... Well, the Cinecittà World, it's an entertainment park. It's nearby the Castel Romano di Aquilette.
Oh, Cinecittà World.
See?
Aha.
Cinecittà World, which is the entertainment
I
park.
see,
which is
Cinecittà World.
right. Well, again, so first of all, when this is going to happen, because it depends. So Napoli, Pompeii, 1 day, it's an excellent choice. It's fine. But then again, so the following day, it's Cinecittà World, which is a theme park. I don't know if you know that, but if you booked it, I assume that you already had all the information about it. Why don't you and again, so it depends when you're going to go the second day, which season is it, like a February, March? It's soon enough. It's winter. If you decide to extend the visit to maybe a few hours, why don't you try to go all the way up to north, like the Tuscia, which is the borders of this region, Lazio.
Great idea, yeah.
It could be like any single little town, part of the ancient Etruria.
Tuscania.
Or,
Tuscania would be my choice for the
That's right.
for the beautiful churches there.
But
the
again,
Romanesque churches there.
You are on the route west to going northwest that way. You going to you can go to the north of the coast, and then again, so you visit in this beautiful area, and it depends on how much time left you have after your visit to Cinecittà World. Try to plan a couple of hours driving to go all the way to this, few towns on northwest coast, and see if it fits in your timeline.
Oh, Carmen, thank you so much. That's really nice to hear that you planned your entire first-time trip to Italy, May 2026 pre-cruise from Romewise.
We're
so
Carmen.
Glad that you found us helpful. And everybody here, thank you for following us. Thank you for all of your loyalty again, and for bearing with us. We really appreciate it. And any questions we did not get to today, we will answer you in the comments below. So please, if we didn't answer you, please move your question to the comments section. And please join us next time for the next live video, and we promise to get it right next time.
Yeah, technically right. Thank you, guys. Thank you again.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Have a
next
good
time.
rest of your Sunday.
Bye bye.